The biggest challenge for me in terms of safety professionals and indeed organizations that are looking to improve their health and safety programs, the biggest challenge is really around engagement. And so often organizations I find fall into the compliance trap where they're creating elaborate policy and procedures manuals that tick the boxes of standards like ISO 45001, but kind of just sit on the shelf through the course of the year until an auditor comes by and ultimately gives them certification. But just because you've got certification to ISO 45001 or another standard doesn't necessarily mean that you've got an effective system in place. An effective system is about improving your performance and reducing the risk that your team is exposed to. And so the main challenge is actually bringing people at the coalface on the journey such that they're interacting with your health and safety system, and really you're able to create a culture of safety that goes beyond compliance. The role that technology plays in the practice of safety governance, and my area of expertise is safety software, is that it's around making sure that you're capturing the right information that is able to add value to the organizations. So historically, companies would have dashboards which are capturing a whole lot of data, but those dashboards would often be empty because people weren't really providing information, and they saw reporting incidents and near misses and other safety aspects as a challenge, and there was a barrier to them because they thought it was a long process for them to go in. So if you're able to create an effective system that is simple and easy to use, then those dashboards that you've created are going to provide you with real and meaningful insights and give you transparency around your health and safety performance, which enables senior leaders and health and safety professionals to do their due diligence and make decisions based on real information. For me, the most important indicators that a health and safety leader can use to assess the effectiveness of their OHS solution, again, comes back to that engagement piece. So it's about how much data are we capturing, and are we really getting the information that we need? So on a month-by-month basis, being able to track, are we now reporting more near misses than we were the previous month? And that gives an understanding of how well the organization has managed to engage the workforce in their health and safety program. And on top of that, it's important that we close the loop in our continual improvement cycle when it comes to risk management systems. So an area that often is lacking is the ability to close out actions on the basis of the insights that we've captured from our health and safety initiatives. So being able to track the performance of our action management program and making sure that critical actions are being completed within a reasonable time frame, that's a really important indicator for the effectiveness of a health and safety program. When it comes to evaluating the health and safety software systems on the market, there are a number of things organizations should look at. And I think the starting point is that there is no one solution that's going to fit every single type of organization. So depending on the size and complexity of the company, there's going to be different solutions that are better for your organization. So for instance, a small business with no internal health and safety resource will most likely want an off-the-shelf system that is fast to implement and aligns with good industry practice. Whereas large enterprise organizations will typically have their existing processes in place and dedicated health and safety teams, and they're more likely going to want to have a configurable system that can be tailored to suit their business processes. On top of that, enterprise organizations will often look for a partnership beyond just the product itself. And so as technology evolves and as the organizational structure and the ideas around what constitutes an effective health and safety program within their context, as that evolves, they want their partner to be able to evolve with them as well. On top of that, when it comes to engaging end users, we're all using apps for banking and ordering our dinner and doing our social media. But when it comes to software, from a health and safety perspective, we're often exposed to very clunky systems that are not easy to use. And so making sure that the vendor has an effective mobile offering, but on top of that, it needs to be simple, user-friendly and intuitive for end users so that it doesn't require a lot of training and it's really easy and removes any barriers that are in people's minds to actually interacting with the system itself. The best piece of advice that I could give to safety professionals is that don't try and do too much. And safety leaders have a natural tendency to try and do everything themselves. They're often highly skilled and really motivated, and that sometimes means that they'll try and bite off more than they can chew. But if you don't have focus, you can often spread yourself too thin. And ultimately, the goal in my mind of a health and safety professional should be the vision of developing and executing an effective health and safety strategy. I haven't really met too many health and safety professionals that sign up to the role just to do admin. And most people want to really make a meaningful contribution, and spending hours on end every month of copying and pasting data for board reports or doing other administrative work isn't really something that people are looking to do. So for me, it's about trying to bring people on the journey and try and outsource as much as possible to other stakeholders within the organization. And on top of that, wherever possible, try and automate the processes in such a way that you're freeing up your own time so that you can focus on where you can add the most value, and really looking to change the game of the way in which your organizations manage safety, and you're able to actually create real change that is effective in reducing your risk and improving your performance.